Hey, what's up, Energize? My name is Ben Marshall, and I help out with the Energize network. And today I just wanted to talk about program versus relationship. I don't know about you and what your training was like, but in my youth ministry training, I was really trained to plan a program, to put together this structure and the format and the program, and run it well, and recruit people to come alongside in the program and some of that. But as I've been in youth ministry, I've begun to realize that the program is really secondary, and it's the relationships that we build that are primary. It's the relationships that we build that enable us to speak truth into the lives of students, to speak truth into the lives of our volunteer leaders. It's the relationships that we really rely on, especially in seasons like what we're in right now. We're able to pull from that relational equity that we build with students and that trust that we've built in their lives, because our programs are kind of all over the place right now and what we're able to do. And so we rely on those relationships in order to continue to invest and minister to students, to pastor students. And so I just wanted to briefly talk about program versus relationship. So I wrote some notes down here, and I think relationships, as we think about our programs are needed, but I think relationships are what allow students to give buy-in into the program. Relationships are what keep them engaged, whether it's online or in person. It keeps them coming back or tuned in. Relationships are that glue that kind of holds it together. We need the program. We need something for them to come to and to enjoy, a place that's going to be safe, a place where they're going to be able to know that they can come and feel welcomed and cared for, and there's going to be leaders here, and we need that side of things. But we can't only focus on the program. We need the relationships. We need to train our leaders to build those relationships. Relationships are important. So the question I have for you is, what do you tend towards? Do you tend to focus more on the program and the planning and the structure and that element? Or do you focus more on the relationship and maybe forget about the program and the structure and the planning elements? How are you equipping your leaders for relationship, to build relationship, to set them up to be able to build into their students in their small groups? How are you equipping them to build those relationships? And then just three quick things that I think we can use in order to really set up the importance of relationships in our own lives and in our ministries. And the first one, which I struggle with sometimes, especially on a ministry day, is slowing down. Right? There's always so much going on, and yet if we're going to build relationships and really look at the primary importance of relationships, we need to slow down. I think that Jesus did this well, and that he had a measured pace. He was very intentional. There's a resource called, I think it's called the 3 Mile an Hour God, and it's the pace of walking. And Jesus walked everywhere he went. And so looking at that example, that he took his time, he slowed down. And that brings us into the second point, which is lean into disruption. Again, we look at the life and the example of Jesus and how often he was interrupted. And those interruptions often paved the way for a miracle. And so we need to slow down and lean into those disruptions, those interruptions in our day or in the program, and see that this might be a divine interruption. And the third one is recognizing that if our program has a bad night, it's going to recover. It's going to be okay. The program fails are not as significant as relationship fails. There's more invested in the relationship and building that trust in the life of a student or a leader. There's more there than if we have an off night in the program. And so just kind of remembering, hey, slow down, lean into that disruption, the interruptions that come, that God maybe is using in your life and in your ministry to do something that you maybe weren't planned for or prepared for, but God is ordaining. And then the last part is just realizing the importance of relationship and the weight that they bear. It is more important than the weight of the program. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope this is an encouragement to you, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next Energize meeting.